Alright, if the price of a new drink at Starbucks can be modeled by P of X equals 110 minus X over 15. Where X is equal to number of cups sold in thousands. How many cups need to be sold to maximize revenue? $110, yes. No, this is, I need a number. It's an optimization problem. Because we're trying to maximize the value here. Now, I'll give you a second to try to think of this. And I'll give you a hint. There's a relationship between revenue and price. You could kind of think of it like that, but it's not exactly. A price is how much you're selling it for. That cost is more associated with how much does it take to actually produce the item. Now, which one depends on the other? Revenue depends on price. Now think of like distance traveled and speed. Which one depends on the other one? Distance depends on speed. Now think of like a distance compared to velocity. S of t and v of t. What's the relationship between S of t and v of t? Yeah. Isn't v of t equal to s prime of t? Because this is kind of like the units that we need in order for this to work, in order to figure that out. So if distance relies on velocity and revenue relies on price, what do you think the price is compared to the revenue? The derivative of the revenue. So this is equal to the derivative of the revenue. Because price is always going to be kind of like a rate. Price would be, in this case, how much money per cup. Velocity would be like miles per hour. Where revenue is just money, right? And this is just going to be in miles. The first derivative is going to give you a rate of some kind, because remember, derivatives give you slopes, and in this case, when you have dollars per cup and X is the number of cups, that money is going to represent the revenue, and that's going to represent kind of like the higher order equation. So, now if we're trying to maximize revenue, do I have an equation for revenue? No. Do I have anything for cost? No, so I have nothing for cost and nothing for revenue. But, so there's no R of X. But we have P of X. So what's P of X equal to? The derivative of the revenue. So, since the question is, all right, let's maximize revenue, what do I have to do to maximize revenue? Yeah, if I want to maximize, and that's an X, by the way, I want to find R prime of X. Then I need R prime of X equal to 0, then solve for X. Well, I don't have R of X, but do I have R prime of X? Yeah, R prime of X is going to be the price. So my P of X is equal to 110 minus X over 15. What am I going to do to this one then? Set it to 0. I'm going to add to both sides the X plus 15, so I'll get 110 is equal to X over 15. Multiply by 15. Is it 1,250? That's close. You sure?
Yes.
So we got X to be 1,650, but what does that represent? How did I get to which step?
Not that, yeah, that one.
This one? I just set this equal to 0, then I added this to both sides. I added X plus 15, or X over 15 to X over 15. So I got 110 is equal to a positive X over 15. So does that make sense? And then just multiplied by 15 on both sides, and I got, if I multiplied that by 1,000, it'd be 1,650,000 cups. So Starbucks, of this new drink, in order to maximize profits, would have to sell 1,650,000 cups.
So
1 million, sorry.
So if they sold 1,650,000 cups, they'd be losing money?
Well, they'd still be making revenue, but it wouldn't be the maximum amount of revenue.
So they'd be making more money. They'd still be making money, but just not as much.
Right, they wouldn't be making as much, because then, if this is a maximum, you have this going on. And so things are starting to decrease again here. Things are getting your revenue is increasing until it gets to a maximum value, and then it's going to start decreasing again, which means the cost of more drinks at that point is going to eat more into the revenue. So you ever notice how at Starbucks all of a sudden they're sold out of stuff every once in a while? Well, that's because they're maximizing, and after they get to a certain amount, they might just stop producing it because they've hit their maximum revenue. So do they care if you want it or not? No, because they'll start losing money off of giving out or sending stuff, which is very pessimistic on my point of view. But if I'm running a company and I say, once we get to here, we're going to stop selling it, because why make more? Why make more when it's going to cost more? And that's what business people think about. It's business. That's what they think about. Does that make sense? Now, I would remember this. Hint, hint, hint.
What is a conceptual
All right, that's a great question. What is that type of a problem?